Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Q&A video, where I will be basically answering some of the most asked questions by our advertisers. My name is Marouan Bouhachi. I am publisher and advertiser manager at Adcash, and let's get started then with the questions. From now, you should be able to see the slides. So let's get started with the most frequently asked questions about the Adcash platform on advertiser side. The first question, it's about the payout types we have and we work with. So this is a very common question, asked a lot every single time that an advertiser wants to start creating campaigns on our platform. And as you can see on the slides, the payout types we have are the CPM, which is the classical, let's say, ad format, the CPC, which it's for clickable ad formats, and then we have the CPA target, which is also known in the ad tech industry as smart CPM. Something to point out here, really important about the CPA target, is that it will optimize itself when it comes to the best traffic zones, buying at the best price and always trying to keep into account the performance and of course the goal of the campaign, and also it takes into account the value of the traffic. So this would be all for the first question. Let's go to the second one, which is also pretty commonly asked, is the minimum CPM price. While creating a campaign, a CPM campaign, basically you will be asked to set up a bid. The system always will suggest you one bid, let's say, which will be the average bid, and it will also set up a minimum floor that you can't go below it. So the minimum bid is not always the same for all the geos and for all the setup, because it will basically depend on the targeting you have made. Here, a really important tip, we can call it a golden tip, is to go always for the minimum bid can be a bad decision, because when you are trying especially to reach quality traffic, then the highest bids are usually the ones that get the traffic with the highest conversion rates. So let's pass to the third questions. What is the minimum budget? Here we can talk about basically two different type of accounts. The managed accounts, which have a minimum budget of $1,000 or euros, and then we have also the self-served accounts, in which the budget is basically much lower. It's only $100 or euros. I always say dollars and euros because it will depend on which currency you have chosen while creating your account. And of course, this is not totally closed. If you have a special request when it comes to topping up the credit on your wallet and so on, you can always speak with the account manager and submit your request, so we can understand if it's something doable on our side. Next question about ad formats and the ROI provided. As you can see on the slide, we have 5 ad formats: pop-under, interstitial, push notifications, native, and banner. When it comes to the ad formats providing the best ROI, I would say there isn't a single and unique answer to this question, because at the end, everything, it will depend on the type of offer you are running, and that will really determine which are the best ad formats. Let's say, for example, pop and interstitial are the most used ad formats, and it's not a secret. The main reason is basically that they give a high visibility to the advertiser. However, this doesn't mean that display formats are not good. For example, banners can be really good depending on the type of offers. And here I can put a specific example. If we take, for example, gaming offers, and we take gaming banners, they work really well in this type of offers. Next question. What are the best and or most suitable verticals to promote on Adcash? Well, as we have basically traffic from all the verticals with worldwide coverage, I wouldn't choose only one or two. We basically have success cases in every vertical. However, when we check historical data and see the top performing ones, we find some verticals like, for example, VPNs, VODs, sweepstakes, sport betting, casino, gaming, software, or app install, for example. Let's move to the next question. This is a really interesting question, mostly asked, I would say, very, very often by the media buyers, because usually they really want to have full control of their campaigns, of their activity in Adcash. And the answer here is really short and simple. Yes, the account and the campaign is fully self-served. You can basically create a campaign, you can stop it, you can delete it, you can optimize it, you have access to data, to reports, and so on. So it's fully manageable and self-served, let's say, on your own. Of course, let's not forget that an account manager will always provide you a higher visibility and experience and knowledge. Hope this question is clear for mostly, like as I said, as it's usually asked by media buyers. I hope it's now more clear. Important question as well, the optimization. Basically, while creating the campaigns, some of the advertisers ask the account manager to create it, and some of them they create it by themselves. But then once the campaign is live and some time has passed, it comes one of the most important moments, which is to optimize the campaign. Most of the advertisers, through my experience, they basically check the zones. Of course, it is not incorrect. It's good. But I always suggest to go more deep into the data and break down, let's say, the stats by more features. For example, we can talk about the different SSPs from where the traffic is coming from, especially if you have chosen to run a campaign on programmatic or RTB sources. You can check always by device, by browser language, by subsources, by operation system, or even by ISPs if we are talking about a specific offer for mobile carrier. So always try to break down the data into more detailed, let's say, possibilities in order to get valuable insight to optimize properly. And next question now. How long does the campaign validation take? Well, in this case, the campaign validation doesn't take usually a lot of time. We have our compliance team constantly working on it. And I would say approximately a couple of hours, but most of the time I would say that it takes even much less time. Another question related to the compliance, let's say, side. The campaigns are being rejected and we don't understand why. Don't get scared. This is something really common that can happen. And usually when this happens, it's mostly because of compliance issues, basically. So when this happens, you will basically receive an email and the email will explain the reason of the rejection. You can always, of course, contact your account manager or our support team in case you don't know how to fix the problem. And next question, how to track via different trackers? Well, in this case, I always recommend to track This is the first thing, because tracking means information, and information, it is what basically will allow you to optimize after. So without tracking the data, you won't really be able to make proper optimizations, and also the account manager won't be able to do much on his side. When it comes to the tracking, I personally recommend the S2S tracking system, which is also known as server to server. While setting up the tracker, you will get a very long list with all the trackers that we are integrated with, and even there is an option for a specific tracker in case, for example, you have an in-house built tracker. You can also choose that. So basically all the options are available when it comes to tracking, and I reinforce the message again of tracking is really important. The last question is about the fraud. And of course, when we are talking about fraud, it's a really delicate topic that, of course, every advertiser wants to avoid. In Adcash, we are zero tolerant to fraud, and we have invested a lot across the year to fight against this fraud and shady practices overall. And you can proudly say that we have a great and successful fraud analysis team that takes care of basically eradicating all these shady practices. What should be done here is, if the advertiser detects that there is some fraudulent activities, we recommend to immediately get in touch with the account manager. And of course, send the fraud report, the fraud report that will prove the fraud data. Basically, this information will be immediately sent to our fraud analysis team, and once it's confirmed, the refund will happen. The refund is basically the refund of the amount impacted in the fraud, full refund of the amount impacted. Something else to keep in mind here is that the fraud report should be always provided within 30 days. So this is it. If you still have any kind of questions about fraud or something I talked about, feel free to contact me. As you see here in this slide, you have there my name and surname, so you can easily find me on LinkedIn. Please feel free to connect with me in LinkedIn for whatever reason. You can also write to me via email through which is the first letter of my name, my surname, Bouhachi @adcash.com. And this is it. Just would like to thank you all for watching this video. Stay tuned, because we will be recording more videos with more questions. Actually, we got many more questions, and I'm sure that we'll be recording more videos soon. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channels so you don't miss out any kind of video or news from our side. And I wish you a great day ahead. Bye-bye.